Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the delay. Looks like we're not going to have all the fancy technology today, but Shannon will give you the links underneath this presentation. So we're talking about the ladder of conclusions. In the 40s, these two scientists did research to show how two triangles, one circle, and a rectangular box, when they were animated, could provoke within us, because our brains are naturally wired to want to make up stories, give intention to objects, and basically make shit up. That's what our brain does. It doesn't like to have those spaces where it can't predict what's happening. So in this experiment, you can see on the video from the 40s how two triangles and one circle are moving around within a rectangular box and around the rectangular box. And what we find is when we watch this, we start to write a story in our mind. We've basically attributed beliefs, motivation to these animated objects. Now, how do we use this in the day-to-day? Well, when Judith E. Glaser was teaching me about conversational intelligence, she introduced the ladder of conclusions, which basically states that when you're having a conversation with other people, whether we know it or not, our body will have a response. You want to test this out. Just notice what happens to your body when a loved one walks through the door at the end of the day after they've been traveling to meet you, or you go to a coffee shop to meet a dear friend, and as soon as you see them, your body kind of lights up. That's what we're talking about. We have a physical response. As soon as we have that physical response, there is an emotion that occurs in our physiology, and that emotion, depending upon if it's positive or negative, can then provoke us to start making up thoughts, beliefs, and stories about what that means. That's what we mean the ladder of conclusions. Without us actually guiding ourselves through it, it happens automatically. Now, this may not be such a good thing when we're attributing negative intention to individuals or situations where it doesn't belong. So the first thing we want to be aware of are body responses. But if we can't pinpoint that, just notice when you have an emotion. If you start watching these emotions, you're going to notice that the emotions were actually preceded by a physical response. But if you could nab on and go, I am feeling something, before you go to a thought and belief, stop, time out. Check in with yourself and name the emotion. And if you need help, go out to Google and search emotion wheel, W-H-E-E-L. It's a great tool. Print one of these off or have it somewhere on your phone so you can look at it quickly and identify what is the emotion. And once you've named the emotion, go out and search Nonviolent Communication, NVC.org, or look for a needs list, a list of needs. Once you've identified the emotion, find out what the need is underneath the emotion that's asking you to be met. What need needs to be met? Once you know what the need is, ask yourself, what action should I take? So instead of climbing up the ladder of conclusions that Glaser's giving us and having thoughts and beliefs and assumptions that are not true, we can start telling the truth to ourselves. We can actually be more present with what's going on. Here's an example. Yesterday in our team meeting, we were talking about someone that we're working with that we're relying on an answer for in order to move forward today on some of our work. We have not heard from this individual. Now, we could go up the ladder of conclusions because I can feel my gut tightening and I can feel the emotion of disappointment that we haven't heard back from this individual today. And I could start thinking, well, he doesn't care about our work. He is ignoring us. He's too busy, which means we're not a priority. Those are things I would be making up. But instead, this morning, when I sent out a message to see if he'd responded and I found out no, went, okay, what's my body response? I still have a tightness in my gut because I don't know if the thing we're working on is moving forward or not. And we need to keep it moving forward. So I stopped and said, what is my emotion? And my emotion was, I was tense. I was worried. I went to a needs list. What did I need? I just needed to know if we're on track. That's all. So getting the need met, I sent out a text to see if we were on track. So instead of me holding all of this information inside of me and running up to thoughts and beliefs that are not true, I'm still in hold, knowing that I've done what I can do, and we're going to find out if we're on track or not. This stopped me. It can stop you from running up a ladder of conclusions, making assumptions, and drawing stories in our brain that are not true. Getting to your truth, finding your truth and living it is our tagline here at Soul Salt. And if you're running up some ladder of conclusions, you're up some rung of something that's not even viable or true. So I hope what we've given you today is a means for you to do a body check, start noticing that things happen somatically in your body first, then we create emotion, and then we can run up the thought ladder. But instead of going there, notice the emotion, name it, look for the need underneath it, and go get the need met and exit that whole scenario of going up some ladder of conclusions. Hope this has been helpful for you. Go out, find the truth, and live it. Take good care.